Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about how Todd Phillips' The Joker was an unhinged masterpiece of a movie. So I finally saw Joker, and now I get what everybody's been talking about ever since it came out. I cannot believe how good this movie was. Because I was thinking to myself, they're doing the Joker's origin again in the movie or on screen. And technically, he doesn't really have a true origin and everything, because in the comics, he doesn't. The whole killing joke was just like an Elseworld type thing that they sometimes make canon, sometimes they don't. And so I'm all like, I really don't want them to do their own origin thing again, like they did in Batman and Gotham and stuff like that. I want him just to be like a mystery until like the comics do it first, right? But then, like, the way they did it, and I literally mean the way they did it, was uncanny. It was like a testament written in stone and just like archived in like time and everything. I could not believe how realistic they made a comic book character. They took the source, the mythos of what this character act like in comics and on screen, and then they replicated it and did their own thing based in realism. It was nuts how they did it. There was no falling in a bath of like acid. There was like no going insane from that. There was no like multiple personalities or origins that he has. There was no bleaching of the skin and the green hair, nothing like that. This is a true comic book movie just written in realism. And they managed to cram in Bruce Wayne's Batman origin as well. Like, that was just nuts. And they did it all by having a man's mind, his psyche, decay into that of madness from one of the worst things that like was created on earth, mankind and everything. And some of the most scummiest people in comic book history come from Gotham City, one of the most dangerous cities of them all in comic book history. And Joaquin Phoenix, my God, that man gave a performance. No wonder he got nominated and won the awards that he did. But I already knew he would like kill it because he's a really good actor and stuff. And Jared Leno should have paid attention to this dude in the past. Because was it really that hard, Jared Leno? Like, seriously, man. It's like all that method acting did nothing for when you portrayed the Joker or Morbius for that matter and stuff. And it's just kind of like this is why you need to learn your craft, learn how to switch it on and switch it off. And maybe Jared Leno's Joker would have been better instead of him sending like used condoms and rats to like his co-stars, freaking them out and everything. And and I get why they cast Jared and everything. He looks like the Joker, like the skinny version of the Joker with the slick back hair and everything. Like he literally looked like the man. The white makeup they used on his face blended in naturally to his skin. Like he looked like a Joker that could come off like the comics or something. I think the new 52 version, like when he like cuts his face off and stuff like that, he looks like that version. And yet he just couldn't cut the mustard. He couldn't pull it off. But Joaquin Phoenix did. And what's insane, like literally what is insane about this is they made you feel bad for him. And you should never feel bad for the Joker. Like never. But you end up feeling bad for him in this movie. Until, of course, he actually becomes the Joker and starts doing Jokerish stuff. Then he's just like, you know what I'm saying? Can't wait for Batman to grow up and stuff like that. And so, like, now I see why some people are a little scared for the sequel because they're going to make it into a musical. I have fears about that and everything. I haven't seen Lady Gaga really act except for an American Horror Story. That's it. She had like a small role, but I heard she's gotten so much better since then. And I know Margot Robbie. I heard rumors that like she is upset that somebody else is gonna be playing Harley Quinn on the big screen and it's not her. And she is not happy about that at all. She's a little bummed out, I heard, and stuff. And and she did a really good job as Harley too. So we'll only see if Lady Gaga can pull it off or this musical can pull it off. But like, it's just nuts how they took the mythos of Joker and they made it into like this realistic mental illness type thing. Now they never really say what his mental illness is. I think it might be schizophrenia because it appears to be schizophrenia and everything. The hallucinations, the anxiety, the paranoia type stuff, the anger outbursts and everything. That zoned out look in his face is all like contrary to that of schizophrenia and everything. And so, like, basically, he's just a regular man who wants to be a clown and make people laugh and everything. That's the only thing he wants to do in life. And sadly, he always gets kicked down by people. People treat him like trash. They beat the snot out of him, which causes him to resent people of the world and everything. And, the way that like Joaquin's just played it, the way he ran, the way he talked, the way he danced, the way he just like his facial expressions, it was so real. It was like if you were to think of a realistic Joker, this will be it. You know what I'm saying? If you was to make him like, if you were to take away all the comic book silliness, this would be a real life Joker and stuff. And so like the things that make the Joker, like he's always a happy person, and Arthur Fleck is always a happy person, no matter what. Like the Joker is a person who just laughs like for no apparent reason. He just laughs out of like nowhere, and they did this in the show that Arthur laughs due to his mental illness and stuff, and like he has a problem. He has to take his medication. And even if you take medication, it works, but sometimes it don't always work strong enough. And so he just laughs like for no reason and stuff. The hallucinations he have, that can be contribute to like the Joker always telling people his origin, always changing it up for people and stuff. And like as for like his like manic reasons, it's because people are always kicking him down, putting him down. He lives at home with his mother. He has woman issues and everything that could explain like why he's so abusive to like Harley Quinn and stuff like that. And they took all this like comic book like mythos, and they just like they sprinkled in like little ingredients of just like realism, and it's just nuts how they did that. I don't even know if this has ever been done before to such a character like this. Could it ever be replicated? Well, of course it can be replicated, but would it have that same feel? And so the whole him wanting to be a clown, like that just fits into when he fell into the acid and turned into a clown and stuff. He turned into something he didn't really want to turn into. But this one wants to be like, a joke and everything. He wants to be respected, but people look at him as a joke. And then when they start laughing at his jokes and him being silly, he realized that is truly who he is. He really is like a clown and stuff. Him always stealing money in the comics and stealing this and that. He stole a dude's jokes and everything. And I can't even just like begin to like I can't even express myself, tell you the truth tonight. Like, it's weird because it's like society made him and everything. Kind of in a way Batman made him in the comics and stuff. And so, he is a person who lives with his mom. He takes care of her. He loves her and everything. He's on his meds. Money is tight. They're taking the funding away from the place he gets his meds. And then when you notice, when he's no longer on his meds, that's when he starts slipping more and more and more, becoming that of like the Joker. So it's like his lack of medication is kind of like the acid from the comic book that made him go so zany and everything. And the fact that like he hallucinated Zazie Beet's character, loving him and being with him, that was just like completely out of like left field and came out of nowhere. I was shocked they did that the way they did it. And we still don't know what happened to her character. Did he kill her? Did he not? It might be explained in the next movie because she's supposed to appear in it. And so like whenever he's like, talking about how he wants like a father, he's pretending like he's on that talk show, pretending like the whole world is looking at him. And that's what the Joker loves. He wants the center of attention on him. It's that cat and mouse game he has with Batman. He does something bad. He wants he wants Batman to try to figure out what he did. And then it's just have Batman chase him and everything and then start the game all over again. And so, but tragedy hits him when his mom tells him, "Oh, Thomas Wayne is your father." She used to work for him, so he goes there. And Alfred, I couldn't believe Alfred showed up. He's talking to young Bruce, and Alfred makes him go away. He talks to like Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne doesn't want nothing to do with him. Says your mom is lying, and then he finds out the truth. He goes to Arkham Hospital, the place that eventually he's going to end up in a lot. And he finds out the truth. And when he finds that truth out, and him being off his meds, that's when more of his anger and his issues start coming out. And he takes it out on people, getting rid of his mom. Getting rid of the people that made fun of him at work. That's something the Joker always does. He hates being laughed at, made fun of, and whenever he is in the comments, he always goes after people. And that's what he did with the dude who he worked with. Now, the dude who's a dwarf, I thought for sure they was going to turn him into his first sidekick from the comics, but they didn't. But there's still enough time in the second movie unless Harley Quinn is going to take that role. And then, so, he looks kind of like at the talk show host as a man who understands him in his mind. And when that man doesn't and makes fun of him, then he's all like, you know what? I've had enough and everything. You're not the person I thought you were. And you look at me as like a joke instead of what I am and stuff. And then next thing you know, like all these people start like, accepting the Joker as he is and start dressing like him and helping him escape from the police. Very much a Batman Beyond with the Jokers and stuff. And then there's that iconic scene from The Dark Knight Returns when he's on the talk show and then he murders like the host and all the people there. And it's very reminiscent of that. They just they did the whole MCU thing. They took something from source material and then they did their own thing. You know what I'm saying? And was that really so hard for DC to finally do that? They've been trying for years to replicate what the MCU has done, but have never truly been able to do it and stuff. And so have many other studios and stuff. And so, like, because of like what he created, it took the life of young Bruce Wayne's parents and started the origin of that character and stuff. And so, he gets put away in like Arkham and everything, and I can't even go anymore. I can't and stuff. It's just like this movie is unhinged. It is a masterpiece. They made you, I didn't root for him, but they made you feel sympathetic for a man who's just very troubled. And he turned into a bad person. That was something a lot of these remakes do when they remake a character. They always give them a sympathetic backstory to make you feel for him and stuff. And people felt for this one. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.